Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back to another episode of the We Got Y'all podcast. I am your host, Ray P, and I of course am not alone. I am joined by my amazing correspondent, Kyron Richardson, aka K Rich. What's going on, friend?
What's happening, Ray P? What's going on with you? Good morning. As you know, it's a morning show, so we're gonna say good morning,
For
even though
sure,
it is not morning at this time of recording.
for
How you
sure.
feeling?
Tired, like y'all get from me every week, but you know what? I'm good. This is a very good episode of the morning show, so I'm excited to talk about it. Hopefully that will bring me up before I get back to work once we get done. How about you?
Same. Feeling good. Just got back from Vegas like a day and
Mhm.
a half ago. Still adjusting, catching up on sleep,
Yeah.
traveling back to Cleveland, all that good stuff. But of course, I'm here and excited to be talking to Rachel about the morning show and excited to be involving y'all in the conversation. So please remember to like, subscribe, share, tell a friend,
For sure.
comment. We will read your comments in the episodes as we continue to go on. And as Rachel mentioned, this is episode 2 of season 4 of the morning show streaming on Apple TV Plus. The revolution will be televised. Synopsis for the episode: Alex fights to prove her innocence. A ghost from the network's past surfaces with a disturbing story. Rachel, we talked about like our history with the morning show, what we liked the most. We talked about the principal cast last week, of course, created by Jay Carson, developed by Carrie Erin. This episode was directed by Mimi Leader and written by Micah Schraft.
Mhm.
You mentioned that it was a good episode. You enjoyed it, Rachel. I want to get your opening thoughts on what you thought as we get rolling into season 4.
I absolutely loved this episode. I'm not going to say that the intro episode last week was slow, but it was slower. It was very much walking us down. And so this episode too, it picked up a bit for me. There is, I don't want to say action, but everybody's story has a little something something to it. It was a very heavy Alex episode, but I mean she is the
Mm-hmm.
main character, but I appreciated everything that we got from Alex. Light Bradley, but again, a small but packs a punch. And I mean that can be said for Reese Witherspoon in general. Love that. We got a
Yeah.
lot of Corey, who um I don't know if y'all know this about me, but I low key love a villain. In the lowest of keys, I love a villain. And so, of course, y'all know I love Corey.
Is Corey a villain?
Corey is misunderstood. Or no, I think they know Corey very well. Um, I think Corey is, I don't really want to call him a victim because that's not the case, but a victim of circumstance.
He he represents something that they're trying to get away from.
Exactly that, and rightfully so, essentially. But it is what it is, you know. Um, I don't want to say it's a devil, you know, but Corey
Uh,
is Corey is valuable, and I think we see, if you were not as familiar with the prior seasons, if you did not rewatch intently like I didn't do, this episode, more way more so than last week, I think lets you know how Corey became who Corey is, or
mhm.
what you might think Corey is, you know. He is somebody who knows a little bit of everything. Despite being blackballed, he is a resource. Everybody feels comfortable with Corey because Corey has not just dirt on you, but he has his own dirt, and you may or may not know it, but he is, dare I say, a safe space. Like that language is a little bit too broad because we know
Mm.
he's not above a blackmail, and we knew that prior to this episode, but for the reminder, we're grateful.
Straight
Yeah.
up.
Um, Obviously we got Chris. We talked about her familial situation last week. That really came into play this week, and I think that we touched on, I don't want to say can you have it all? Shout out to Girls Trip, but it is a lot
Hmm.
being, or I'm not a mother, but it is a lot being a working mother, Chris is an Olympian. She's doing the news. Now she's getting ready to go to Paris. Like she has the things going on top of trying to juggle being a wife and mother. And we see that she's dropping the ball as hard as she's trying not to. And we don't know this, but maybe too little too late.
I was just gonna say I'm looking forward to next week to see what the fallout is from that.
But the fallout is gonna fall out. And we watch Mia, she and Chris have a little bit of some words just because
Mm-hmm.
Mia is career driven. And in their war of word, war is a strong word, but in their battle,
It's starting.
in their back and forth, we saw a little bit of it last week when Mia was trying to admonish Chris to take it slow. But Chris said, you know, she's grown. And then now here we are, where we saw Chris drop the ball with her family and now at work. And you have Mia, who is the boss and is vying to be the big boss. Call her on that, call her out on it. And we watch a relationship of the two black women
Mm-hmm.
um, face a little bit of pressure. So I'm excited to see what that looks like throughout the rest of the season. Obviously, of course, we got Chip back too and singing a different tune this week. So I'm all in. I love this episode. I watched it more than once and more than twice in preparation. So I'm excited. What about you, Rich?
I enjoyed it because I'm always curious. I talked about this last week how season one was kind of set up for them. Really, the first two seasons, you kind of know what's going to happen and what it's leading to, and then season two is going to be the fallout from that.
Mm-hmm.
And this show kind of dances between that line of is it best as a limited series, like maybe we get 20 episodes and they move on, or is it best as continuing to have these different storylines and characters because you can do it right based
Yeah.
off the morning show. We've talked about workplace shows. You can keep this rolling as long as you want to, as long as you're fresh and have creative ideas, um, good acting, the whole nine. And sometimes I wonder if they're going to have enough steam to kind of pull everybody back into these like different scenarios. The other fallout with Corey, like you mentioned, how are we going to get him back? Because this Corey is the probably the most beloved character on the show. I don't want to say the most interesting. Yeah, I think so. I think fans watch and they really enjoy Corey. Hence his two Emmys.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he's not the star of the show because that's different. That's definitely Jennifer.
Yeah.
And Jennifer by far is the star.
Mm-hmm.
And then, especially as you get into these later seasons, then you have Reese Witherspoon, who's second, and then it can all change episode to episode.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Corey's a solid number three in that sense, and he brings that humor. He brings the he's had an interesting character development from the first time you saw him. He was almost like the people's champ,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm the guy to come in here and shake up, the patriarch, and we're gonna do things. And start. We're gonna expose truth, and we want good TV, and we're not gonna do things traditional.
Mm-hmm.
In a traditional sense. I always think about that last episode of season one where him locking Mitch out, him waving, kind of like, all right, there's a new sheriff in town. This is how we're going to do things now. And then it leads into what you said earlier, where Corey's not above a blackmail. He does things that you wouldn't think. The show put him in a position to where you have this guy, and these are his morals and his standards. But it's a good reminder that once you make it to a certain level of success, once you make it past those doors and those rooms, you got to do what you got to do to survive. And if that means I got to blackmail one of my best friends or a woman I love, as in Bradley, or leak certain news, that's what you're gonna do because power is the name of this thing. It's keeping that power, keeping that position, keeping that influence. And you made a great point earlier because you mentioned Corey is still kind of a saving grace when all else fails. We've seen this happen when Bradley did it with Corey last season. We've seen it happen with Alex this episode. Like I'm in a jam, I'm gonna call Corey.
Yeah,
At the
he's a
very
fixture.
least, he has exactly. He's got some knowledge. He's been there. I've always said, man, talk to the elders.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I said. Because even if they're not active and out here, they got knowledge, and you can learn a lot. And that's what everybody wants from Corey as well. And on top of all the other storylines that we have, we're getting a little bit closer into what Bradley's really diving into. We get an idea of who the whistleblower is. As you mentioned, Chip is back. So seeing him still in the fold, but not on the UBN side of things.
Mhm.
We obviously get a little bit more going on with the Stella, Miles, and Celine situation.
My
It is
Lord.
a very Alex heavy episode because she is the victim of being deepfakes. So there's a
Mhm.
lot going on, and I want to know, where do you want to start? What character do you want to dive into? Where do you want to start with this episode? Because there's a lot.
Let's start light.
Okay.
Let Let's start with Celine
Okay.
and Miles.
So let me ask you a question just real quick.
Yeah.
Before we even get into the Selena Miles of it, I just want to ask you a real quick question when it comes to Celine. And if this is better saved for Alex, we can save it. Is Celine the one that's in charge of trying to blackball Alex?
Oh no, it's Stella.
You think it's Stella?
Oh, when I rewatched, I wish I would have re-listened to the episode because I'm almost positive that I said I think Stella would
Okay.
potentially be behind it. So I definitely think no, I didn't because we just found this out. I think it's Stella.
Okay. All right. So all right. I'll hold my thoughts on that and tell you why I thought it was Celine. And it makes sense because they're playing it to where it should be Celine. There's a few moments of that. But go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's easy to think that it's Celine. Celine is
Yeah,
the answer because she is new.
Corey asked about her specifically. We see this look after we talk about this scene with her and Miles, kind of like this might be a long night. She's the one that goes over Alex's to break the news. So it kind of is like, what's really going on here?
It's a lot. And even in their brief interactions last episode, you did not get the feeling that the three of them play well together. Alex and Stella have the benefit of a working relationship and an established rapport. Although they're not friends, there is a working relationship that is already established. And here is
Mhm.
Celine, the new big boss, and the new sheriff in town. And I don't like the way that you do things. And I would prefer for you to run the network my way and do stories my way. And then now here you are having us in the middle of an international crisis. Tell me, what do you want me to do with any of this? And so, again, you take into the fact that Celine is the new face, new character, foreign.
Fair
it,
enough.
it makes it easy. And then to your point, the conversation that she and Miles have, and I didn't realize that she and Miles were actually married. I did
Mm.
think that they were just dating. So shout out to Corey for dropping that little nugget into our fish bowls. Celine, and again, we'll get to the Alex of it all. She calls the meeting, ambushes Alex with legal and Stella to discuss what we now know is a deep fake. In every conversation with Celine and with Miles, she says something to the effect of it's always Alex, or he said it's always Alex. So there are marital conversations that Miles is privy to that he probably shouldn't be, but uh everybody be pillow talking.
Hmm.
And so here we are, and we learn that not Alex, Miles, he's not just getting the pillow talk from Celine, also getting it from Stella,
Which is nasty, by the way.
which is crazy. And so
Yes.
now, even though we knew he was a cheater, I was not prepared to be totally, totally, totally side eyeing Miles because motherfuckers be cheating. You get an instant side eye. Howsoever, he's a bit too invested in UBN.
That's well.
Anything good.
The main issue is the only reason you call Corey is on the behalf of your side chick,
Mhm,
not on behalf of your wife,
mhm.
on behalf of your side chick. And you really go to bat, you really give them information and show your hand, not all of it, but
Yeah,
obviously ends up getting everybody caught up. you're doing a lot for somebody that's not your actual wife in this
Mhm.
situation. And as I said it earlier, information is power. The higher you get, the more you kind of, that's currency.
Mhm.
And the last thing you want is Corey to casually drop, oh yeah, I met with Miles. If he runs into Stella, oh yeah, I ran into Miles. He had a conversation about, he told me to stay clear of UBN and blah 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 blah. Like, why are you what? Why are you talking on behalf of this? Or are you betraying me and the things we discuss, not
Yeah.
knowing it's about Stella the whole time? Either way, it opens doors for questions, which Miles should even stay out of it completely. To call that man over, even though you know him, to mention, "Oh, you looking for this money?" and it's all because of Stella. That's ridiculous to me.
For sure,
Um,
but let me challenge you on this just a little bit.
yeah,
Miles and Corey are the same person in black and white. That yes, I'm calling you on behalf of Stella and whatever secret vested interest that he has in the default of you being, because there is a vested interest there. Howsoever, Corey made mention of it. I know Alex. I mean, I know Miles from LA.
hmm
When Miles is talking, I know Corey. So, as far as I'm concerned, Miles and Corey are two peas in a pod. They are very
which
much
is
alike. And so I can have a conversation with you. That's why I feel comfortable showing my hand with you in a way that I likely wouldn't with anybody else.
see that's the thing. I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Part of me is thinking the opposite. We're
Mm,
so much alike that I know what I would do with this information.
mm-hmm.
I know the antennas are going up. I might be questioning why this is going on, or Corey might be questioning why. Maybe I just stay away from it. What you're saying is valid. I definitely agree with you. I understand. But there also should have been a little bit more precaution for Miles. Like if you're really going to get all the way in it, then you got to be prepared for whatever comes with it as well. And I don't think that Miles is in a position to really get caught up in this web, knowing that Corey isn't just going to let shit go.
But see, here, yes, but here is the thing. I have two thoughts, even with Corey discovering Stella's lighter at the house. Either Miles has gotten way too comfortable,
Yeah.
or he is cerebral and he is also planning to backstab Stella in the midst of this. He's planning to play everybody.
So let me ask you this. With that
Mhm,
being said, because I did want to ask, everything looks good on the surface. They're dancing in the living room, whether they're dancing or not, having a little moment,
mhm.
swaying, whatever. I don't hear any music, but I'm assuming they're dancing.
Yeah.
Talking about each other's days, how they're feeling. Should I grab you some wine?
Mhm.
You seem stressed. No, it's gonna be a long night, which is his green light to say, you know what? About to go to the studio, call Stella
Yeah.
over, about to get it in. Um, when he leaves, she kind of like grabs her neck and she's giving a look, and it made me wonder: does she know? Do you think she has a suspicion about Stella, or maybe that he's cheating but doesn't know who was with? Did that ever cross your mind?
I don't think she thinks it's Stella at all. Um, she may have a little intuition, but I honestly didn't read into the neck grab. I more so took it as her preparing herself for all of the drama that is before her.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I didn't know how to read it if that was one of those. He mentioned the studio because I'm sure that happens a lot. He's an artist. I guess it makes sense. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's weird because when the audience knows something,
Yeah.
we automatically. It's just like real life, right? If you know you're guilty of something, you automatically assume everybody else knows. Like you're
Right.
giving out telltale signs. So I guess maybe that's how I'm looking at this. Like,
But an
maybe he is covering
artist
up his
going
track.
to the studio is not far fetched,
Right,
because
right. That's what I'm saying.
we think back to our really love episode of Culture Garden. The protagonist, you cannot do your work in the house. You have to go somewhere else to separate that space. So unless your antennas are truly up, it's nothing, quote unquote, for you to go to a separate space to actually do some work, to actually get your creative juices flowing.
Do you think she has access to the studio?
No.
Okay.
She's
Yeah,
rich.
because I'm wondering.
Probably does because she's rich, but no.
Yeah, because I don't know enough about Miles. We do know they're married because he's talking to Stella and they're having these back and forth. He said something about he can't fix racism. Um, but he also mentioned how he married into all of this. So
Mhm.
we know he's married, but I don't know how long. I don't know if this is a newlywed type of thing. Well, not newlywed, but are you 4 years in or are you 10 years in? Like, what's
Yeah.
that look like? Um, I would imagine he's smarter than bringing Stella to a place that Celine has access,
Right.
especially one that, oh, they'll never come here. They'll never show up here because they always show up there when people say that. So
For
he's got to
sure.
be smarter than that. And she's also busy. Like, I probably ain't got time to be thinking about what you're doing. We
Mhm.
got a nice apartment in the city.
Mhm.
Why would I ever need to go to the studio and watch you work? Unless that's their thing. I don't know. I don't know. This Miles, we're just now gearing up, I think, with that character. And
Mhm.
I'm curious to see how they use him moving forward. Because at what point does all of this come out? Because Stella knows, Corey knows. I don't think Miles knows that because he's got to find that out. He's got to know that Corey knows. Stella's
Right.
going to bring that up,
Yeah.
and then of course also trying to keep it away from Celine. And Stella always does some goofy shit and shows her hand and gives it
Mhm.
away, asking
Mhm.
questions. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Now, let me ask you this because now that I've posed the question of Stella being behind the deep fake, do you think that Miles helped her with that?
No, it doesn't. Or
Mm.
yes, I mean it doesn't. It wouldn't surprise me if that's the case.
Okay.
I think that he. You mentioned it earlier. They're not directly saying it, but indirectly they're letting us know that Miles knows a lot more than he should
Mhm.
probably be privy to.
Mhm.
Um, and I think he would. I don't think that's something that he's against, especially if it is Stella the one behind it,
Mhm. Mhm.
which is he just sticking his nose in places it shouldn't be.
I'm very curious as
What do
to
you think?
I think if it is Stella, then he for sure knows. Given his seeming disdain for Alex, I'm about 70-30 on him also being involved in its creation. But we know that Stella is a tech genius. We learned that last season. We know that she can do many a thing with a computer, and I'm assuming some high level AI. So I'm not at all shocked. I would not at all be shocked um, if that is in fact the case. So that's the Stella and Celine of it all. What about moving to Mia? Mm,
Yeah,
'cause that's very light.
yeah. We can definitely talk about Mia because there's only a few things going on.
Mhm.
Some of it I think ties into Chris, so I don't know if you want to get into Chris as well since we're on Mia.
Mhm.
One of the big things with Mia is obviously she walks into Alex's office to let them know, hey, they questioned me about what happened because as we
Yeah.
know, Mia was there the night of the interview and kind of witnessed everything, or at least
Mhm.
what she saw.
Mhm.
Um, of course, Alex is like, yo, did you tell them this, that? Hey, listen, I told them what I saw. That's all I know. I don't know the ins and outs, what was said behind the closed doors. This is what happened. I'm gonna ride for you like I always do, but this is what it
Mhm.
is. Alex wants to go on the morning show, and once again, as I mentioned earlier, trying to move up these ranks. Once you get to a certain level of promotion, the way you advance past that is relationships and politics. And Mia wants to be very, very careful. There's been a clear directive that we
Mhm.
want Alex steered away from any interviews, any public appearances. You can't go on the morning show to defend your name. You can't go on the morning show to talk about deep fakes. I'm trying to be the head of news. You
Mhm.
know that. I've got to stay clear of this. Love you, but I'm sorry. Um, and we see Alex has a workaround for that, which I'm sure we'll talk about when we get to the Alex part of it. But
Mhm.
also, the most interesting thing with me of this episode was Chris's producer.
Yeah.
That's what started. That's what led to the conversation, the one-on-one in the dressing room,
Mhm.
right? Um, Chris is a star, and she's a newer budding star.
Yeah.
Like she's almost what you say Bradley was in season one.
Mhm.
We're seeing her rise versus someone who's established, like Mitch and Alex when we first started the show. And Chris doesn't play the game. I'm the talent, and she recognizes that early. I could
Mhm.
be a team player, but I'm also going to use this leverage to do what I need to do when I need to do it.
Yeah. And I'm a
Told you
fucking
about the.
Olympian.
You said what?
And I'm a fucking Olympian.
Yeah, I'm an Olympian. Like I'm a high demand. Y'all asked me to do this,
Yeah.
so when you have that one up, I'll do it, but they're going to be on my terms.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She's running a book club. She's on her phone, and it looks like she's disengaged. And her producer is really irritated with it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this. I'm not going back to Winston-Salem. Every time I do, people come at me with their hands out. I don't know these people.
Mm-hmm.
And Mia just agrees. All right, this is what we're going to do. Because Mia looks at the big picture. We got a show to run. I'm not going back and forth. Let's just do it. It's not that deep. And I don't want to keep calling him the producer because he does have a name, but I did not have it written down. But he made a comment to Mia and said she's the boss. What you see Mia have this look. His name's Ben.
Yeah.
Um, so Ben says that Mia has this look like, oh shit, like he's the boss. Deference is a big thing, especially at the workplace.
For sure.
It's a chain of command. There is deference. We saw Mia lay into Chip.
Mm-hmm.
Was that last season or season 2? I can't remember exactly. It might have been season 2
Mm-hmm.
because Mia was the head producer and Chip was coming back. He knew the job and was trying to do things. She had a moment where she told him, like, don't interfere with what I'm doing. Don't try to undermine me on my own show. Chris, you have this photo shoot that we knew about in months. We paid people. We had this books. I know you said about your recital, but you're not even giving it a conversation. You're just saying, I'm leaving. There's traffic because of the protest. She takes her track shoes. She's running. It can't get into the recital. Chris can't get into the recital, something that she promised her daughter because there was a scene earlier with her husband and her daughter. Her daughter looks completely dejected. Like, I haven't seen mommy in weeks.
For sure.
Sad. There's probably been some broken promises. I don't want this to be the norm.
Mm-hmm.
Chris notices that. She does everything she can to get there. Security doesn't let her in. She doesn't have an ID, which I want to know something, Rachel. If you're in the position of Mia, of Chris, my apologies. If you're in a position of Chris where you are an Olympian, you're famous, you're well known in New York City, do you pull the Google Me card? Like, I know it's security and it's safety, but you don't know who I am. And I would hate to be that person, right? If I was ever famous, which I have zero desire to be famous. But if it was a situation like that, like, what we doing, bro? Like, pull up your phone and look at me. Like,
Yeah.
here's your title.
So I'm torn on that because part of me wants to say, all right, and you black, all right, brother, come on.
Yeah.
You know who I am.
But you sound like a dickhead when you pull the you don't know me. You don't know who you sound like.
You are. It's very entitled. And the reality is the rules are the rules. And safety first. You could be a doppelganger. I don't know. I know who you are, but I don't know who you are. And take into consideration, Chris's husband is the active parent at the school. That's who we see. He could probably be like, oh, come on, Officer Jim. You know me. You see me every Wednesday with donuts with dad. Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
Chris does not have that currency despite being famous, despite being an Olympian and a household name. That means nothing at the schoolhouse unless you're Shelly Ann Fraser doing the mom's track meet. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't hold the same amount of weight. We need to see you, and we don't. So I'm actually not positive of who you are, and you don't have an ID. And when we consider the good thing about the morning show is that it tackles current events, and so when we think about intruders and school invasion and this, that, and the third, ma'am, I'm not letting your ass up in here. Let's just be very real. And so she has to sit on the steps. I understand she had to go, but low key, since you're already in trouble, I wish you would have just waited at the doors for her to come out. You know what I'm saying? Just because not only, yes, you tried, but trying is an excuse for failure. You did your best to get out there, but it didn't work. And so now here is your daughter who, to your point, when we meet her, is dejected and despondent and just not at all having any faith or hope in her mother's 10,000th empty promise. These are just words to her at this point. And I'm grateful to have parents who came to the recitals, who came to the things, but a lot of kids don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it reminds me of Uptown Girls. Have you seen that? Brittany
No,
Murphy,
I'm not hit.
Dakota Fanning, early 2000s lore. Dakota Fanning's character, Ray. She is a little rich kid, and her father is sickly and her mother is a rich socialite. Brittany Murphy plays her babysitter, and the one on her one night off, she doesn't show up, and so there's nobody there for this little girl. And you watch them become essentially, you watch her essentially become a shell of herself, um, put up walls and this, that, and the third. And so here we are again with Chris's daughter, who we saw essentially having already done the same thing in regards to her mother. Because I'm not trying to hear shit you say, because I know that you're not going to be there. And you're going to say that you tried, and you're going to say that you got stuck at work and this, that, and the third. So the fact that the streets are shut down, it doesn't matter, because why you ain't leave earlier? Daddy made it.
Yeah, and that's gonna be how soon do we get that conversation between Chris and her husband?
Between next
Because
episode and the one after. They
yeah,
can't
because he's
drag
got to be. I wonder if he's going to be on the side of understanding, and mommy's. I don't know what he does. I don't know. Is he her manager? I feel like they've discussed it when we met her last season.
it. I don't remember.
Um, but I'm imagining Chris is the breadwinner,
For sure.
and am I the supportive husband, or am I the husband that says I can't see you continue to do this to our baby? I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe a little bit of both. And the
Because he
reality,
felt very. I'm sorry. I was just gonna say real quick. He felt very supportive on that phone call. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Like trying to guard her feelings. All she just tired and
for sure.
yeah.
I agree with that. And so I was gonna say, I think that he is supportive. And here's the thing: yes, your children, but you want your wife to be doing the things. Maybe you don't want her sitting at home because she's not running. Because remember, she was injured, which is how we met her and how she came off the track, essentially. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I actually, money aside, I actually need you to be doing something for the sake of all of our mental well being in this house. So, yes, I'm going to support you. Yes, I'm going to continue to talk to our daughter. Howsoever, it does get to be tiring. And if you are constantly the parent that's always, always, always on, you could build some resentment. So maybe I'm putting on this face for our child, but when you get home and we get in that room, like, we're gonna have some words about this, because it is unfair. And yes, I get that you tried, but try harder. You could have
Try
left
harder.
earlier. What if you would have left 10 minutes earlier?
Let's get into the Mia and Chris of it.
Yeah.
Mia comes back dejected. I
Hmm.
keep saying Mia. My apologies, folks. Chris comes back after the failed attempt of getting into the recital. She's dejected. She's walking back with those flowers, tired. And we've all been there. Just those like I don't really, whatever. Like whatever you about to say, it don't even matter. I'm not even trying to get into it. I'm just more so venting. And she casually vents. I didn't even make it in.
Hmm.
And that's when Mia really had that look like, are you serious? And Mia was waiting in her office. Now I got to be the boss.
Hmm.
Sister to sister, black woman to black woman. I know how it is in this industry. And it's actually, I think to me, it's an honor and a privilege to work with you. I love the
Hmm.
fact that you are a rising star. And I love the fact that you're becoming a somebody and somebody major, major talent at this network. And I want to help you get there. I also care about the ratings of this show, which you have a large part to do with.
Hmm.
And I also care about making sure that I get to where I need to. And part of getting there is making sure that I look like I can handle this job without being undermined. So I want to talk to you about that. And then once I find out you didn't even make it in, that means you wasted time and money, and you made me look like an ass in front of everybody. And I hear your your rebuttals, and I'm doing this and that. But me, it's like I ain't asked you to have a baby. I didn't ask you to do all these other things. Recitals don't trump promo shoots. You know, to which me is obviously, excuse me, Chris is obviously taken aback. Because
Same.
now we're getting into family business. Now we
Mhm.
crossing some lines where we're not cool like that. Let's keep this relationship this relationship. Don't bring my family into this. Don't question how I parent. And the last little dig, which we saw Mia in previous seasons have a relationship with the I don't know if he was a photographer, investigative photographer,
Mhm.
whoever it was. But Chris told her like I have relationships that matter more than this job,
Come on.
and and it
Mind you,
was a
she
dig
is
of
in harm's way.
yeah, and it was a dig at if this is your life, then I don't know what to tell you. I have more life outside of these walls, and I'm not going to be confined to this or
Mhm.
controlled by it.
Yeah.
It was a very, very telling and interesting conversation between the two of them. What were your overall thoughts as they were going back and forth?
This is the first time Mia has gotten on my nerves since we met her in
Mm,
a real way.
mm.
She got on my nerves with Alex, and she definitely got on my nerves with Chris. I understand in both instances. However, you can't let us to a young sister me. Shout out to Hill Harper. You can't do that to me when you see that I am totally drained. I am totally here with nothing. I came back to work. I'm trying to pull myself together to do the job. Yes, I missed this thing, but we can figure it can be figured out. Don't come at me crazy when I'm already at my wits' end. I was very surprised that Mia took that tone. I understand that you're the boss. I understand that you have to assert yourself and you can't show black favoritism because you are trying to be promoted. Howsoever, coming at me crazy when my personal life is in the shitter and I have disappointed my child. Fuck that husband. But my child,
I mean, low key,
my child for the umpteenth time. And you talking about practice, girl?
practice, not the
I
game.
I cuss you out. Don't fucking do that. And again, while last week I did question Chris's commitment to that husband and family, I said it, roll the tape back. I don't know, because why do you want to go to Paris? Why do you need to do all of these things?
Hmm.
Howsoever, this is my life. This is my family. And the fact that you don't have either, girl, shut the fuck up talking to me. Get out of my face. I
Mm,
understand from a boss's level. And I
mm,
understand as somebody who is in corporate America, overworked and underpaid. Shout out to Beyonce.
hmm.
I get it. I understand. However, I felt like Mia could have given her a second to come to, and then we have this conversation because the reality is that you giving me emotion too. You're not just keeping it professional. Like you're taking whatever semblance of a relationship that we have and adding a couple notches to it because we're not even cool like that, sister girl.
So your main issue is I'm not. You're not saying don't have the talk. You're saying give me a second. Like
For sure.
let
For
me
sure.
gather myself. I came back.
I came
Obviously, I
back
came back.
and we both of our emotions are high. Now is not the time. And
Yeah,
I
don't be
get
waiting in my. I
this.
will say don't be waiting in my dressing room.
Yeah, I will
Yeah,
beat the fuck out
don't
of
wait in
you.
my dressing room like you've been waiting here for an hour and a half. You know what I mean? Like you intentionally because the longer you wait, as
The
somebody
matter
who's
you
waited,
get.
I'm about to say as somebody who's waited in the dressing room, you steam with each second that
Mhm.
passes because you
For
can't
sure.
wait to get whatever you got on your mind off.
For sure.
That's interesting. Okay, I can agree with that because I do know. Shout out to Chaz. Chaz is a big believer in I don't give a fuck if you in the mood. You know what I mean? Like if this was what needs to be said, that we're gonna say it right now, whether you in the mood or not, we're gonna
Okay,
lay
and then
this
now we
out.
can fight.
Exactly, and that's the other side of it because that's how usually the approach is. Um, I joke about that because but we had a different conversation about this a little bit earlier. It comes with knowing people.
Mm-hmm.
right? When you know people and how they respond to things, you're kind of prepared for it, and you know this is just them. Chris
Right.
is more so that now is a personal attack because I missed one little promo show. It wasn't like it was an interview. We didn't have the Pope waiting. You had to cancel it. Like it was a promo shoot, like some
Yeah.
photographs. Like it is what it is. Like we can make that up because my family does. They are more important.
Yeah.
And to Chris's point, me and you don't have a family that you think is more important. There are nights where we say you sleep. We
Yeah.
say you sleep at the studio.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
know what I
got a
mean?
bed.
Shower, sleep, all that. Yeah, I got a bed. I can go home. So uh, something to keep an eye on. We don't want to see the sisters fighting.
No, we don't. We don't. Or
But
being instigating.
or being
'Cause
instigating.
I got a
However,
sidelight for him too. Shout
who?
out to the good place. Ben.
Um, yeah, I don't like how Ben handling this
Yeah. Mm-mm.
because all of that. That's a whether you knew it just from knowing it or whether you knew it from watching this show since season one. The talent/producer relationship is a very intimate one,
For sure.
and it requires a lot of trust
For
and a lot
sure.
of open and honest conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And my nigga, if you got an issue with how I'm doing things, let's have a talk. Like
Let's have
pull
a
me
talk.
to the side. This is how this is gonna go. And you don't even have to agree with it because guess what? That's not your job.
Yeah.
Your job is to give me what I need to be the best on air talent, on air host, interviewer, personality, X, Y, and Z that I can be. That is your job at the end of the day. If we're cool and we're friends, that's just a bonus. But we don't have to be that. We saw how Alex had Chip running around, you know what I mean, with his head cut off. You know what I mean? There was Chips just happened to be in love with Alex.
Robert say, well, Chip was in love, so that's why he was going above and beyond like that.
Yeah, but even if Alex was the star and this is what I need from you, and if guess what? If you can't do it, we can get you up out of here. I'm sure Chris, because it's very on brand for a character, I want a black producer.
For
I
sure.
want someone that's going to be able to, I can kind of bring you up because the higher you go, higher they go, the higher you go.
For sure.
Chris gets a bigger stars, and so does he.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he messes it up by making these little snarky remarks. Like,
Yeah.
oh, we're working here. And nobody likes that micromanaging. Nigga, I know we working. I'm here. Like, I can multitask, bro. I got a million things going on.
Right.
I'm not going to drop my phone every second, look you in the eye because you feel better about yourself that you know I'm paying attention. I'm hearing you, bro. We talking about some bullshit right now.
Come on, dog.
Sometimes that's how it is. So we'll keep an eye on this. We'll keep an eye on the whole Chris of it all with her family, with her relationship with Mia, relationship with Ben, how things look at you being for her.
Yeah.
And if anything needs to be scaled back, if she needs to take a step back from, work to focus on family. But I don't see that happening.
Damn, not Chris not going to Paris.
Hey, it could happen. It could happen, and that could lead to somebody else going.
For
I
sure.
don't know. I don't know. I just don't see it. It just doesn't seem realistic for Chris not to want to go.
No, not wanting to go and choosing not to go for the sake of her family are two different
Yeah,
things.
I still don't. I don't see. I could see Chris bringing her daughter and getting like a nanny and leaving her husband back or
What the-
treating her husband like the nanny.
Yeah, ain't no. I'm not about to pay when you could come. What are we doing?
I don't know if she wants it. I don't know. You mentioned. We'll see. We'll see. There's a lot of stuff. This is episode 2. We got 8 more, so we'll see how it works
For
out.
sure. For sure.
We've got the Bradley of it all, Rachel. We've got Alex. We've got Corey, which we can continue a conversation on. Where do you want to go next?
I want to end with Alex because it's
Okay.
an Alex heavy episode. Let's
talk about Bradley.
Bradley's back.
She's back at UBN. Scene of the crime, as they say.
Back at the scene.
Teaming up with Yanko. What's your overall thoughts on Yanko, just in general?
The eyeliner is still a bit much. I enjoy him. However, I think he is somebody he's been there. He's been through the ranks and he feels like he should be the star. Here he is. He's prepared. Uh I don't not trust him, but he is a friend of no one. We cool.
That's a great way to say it.
We're familiar, but we're not friends. And I low key appreciate that because that is how, for the most part, in these seasons, he's stayed above the fray by not getting too close to whoever's at the desk before or after him or with him.
Yeah, yeah. I just made me think of it because he's had some interesting moments.
Uh,
It's a perfect way to say it. I'm a friend of no one. I think that's how I probably feel about him.
Yeah.
I'm indifferent. I don't really care.
Hmm.
Like he's cool having around, but I don't know if I miss him if he was going. One of those people.
Hmm.
So um, so I want to ask you. We see Bradley back at UBN. She's looking up at the new lettering. It's all the same, but it's also very different, right?
Hmm.
New merger, new company, and we see her on air for the first time. She's with Chris and Yanko. They're welcoming her back. They have to mention Hal because we have to. And we see her stumble between
Hmm.
what's going on. Now, keep in mind, everyone, only a couple people know about her involvement in the scandal with Hal and covering up everything.
And none
The
of them are
general,
the people.
yeah, none of them are the people. Only the general public knows. So we see her reading the teleprompter and then stumbling. Is that rust or is that her being distracted from? Because let me back up a little bit. I think the main reason Bradley is back is to chase this story,
Hmm.
right? We know it's somebody that's inside UBN or was a part of UBA. She wants to get more information on what's going on. So I'm going to go to New York and I'm going to join. Do you feel her stumbling is, I know this person might be here somewhere and my mind is distracted, or is it just rust? Is it that riding the bike that Yanko was discussing where it's not as easy? Some people do learn to forget. Or she almost outed herself as being part of this deliberate scandal.
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with the mole at all. I think
Okay.
it's a little rust, and also this is your first time talking about this other than with your parole or probation officer, other than the last time you and Alex discussed it. You have the conversation, your last conversation with Alex ringing in the back of your head, all the things that you did. And here I am with this teleprompter, and the words are here. And because I haven't done this in 2 years, I have the words in front of me and I have the words in my head. And the thing about Bradley, yes, she kept this secret. She is a truth teller, which is why she's been sought out. You know what I'm saying? So here I
Mm-hmm.
am. I low key want to give it to y'all, but I can't, not just for my brother's sake, but for my own sake, because again, even though she wasn't down to the Capitol, you covered up evidence.
Yeah.
Bradley should be behind bars with Hal.
There's no way that that comes out, right? Because I don't think can Bradley come back if that ever came out.
I think there's a way that it can come out.
Yeah,
It
it can come out, but does
can
Bradley?
come
I
out.
feel like if it does come out, there's no redemption for Bradley. It's too much of a stretch, unless Bradley turns into a podcaster.
Bradley is a blonde haired Southern white woman who speaks to a particular demographic,
Mm, yeah,
which is why they brought her back in preparation for election season. You consider the fact that the morning show pretty much covers the stories of the now in real life. Do we get to the end of the season and the election passes and those who were pardoned are freed, and Hal is one of those people? Now is Bradley free to speak to it? Does Hal spill the beans? In a post about being gracious for his sister who supported him and held him down despite XYZ. You know what I'm saying? Like there are ways for it to come out, and there are ways for somebody like Bradley Jackson to be successful thereafter. Will her career stay at UBN? Maybe not, but it wouldn't necessarily end her.
yeah, that's yeah. All right, that's a very valid point. I cannot argue any of the points you just made. Um, we see Chip, as we mentioned earlier,
Mhm.
back in the fold. What are your thoughts on Chip or Bradley recruiting Chip for this story?
Chip is great at what he does. He's an amazing investigative producer, investigative journalist. She knows that firsthand. She and Alex don't have the relationship, so why not go to the literal next best thing? The production behind Alex Levy. So I
Mhm.
come to Chip. Me and Chip are cool. I can ask him. Chip and I work together getting um Peter, was that the person who tried to buy UBA last season? I can't remember his name. We worked together
Yes,
in
I believe it was Peter.
getting that canceled. So why not work together again on something that can potentially redeem my career and really make a difference?
At first, Chip tells her no.
Mm-hmm.
He's not interested in
Mm-hmm.
joining or giving any part. He's found peace.
Yeah.
He's found peace in his life after years of not having it, and years of doing the rat race, and years of all the drama. And we've only seen part of it as viewers. So who knows how much other drama there's been at UPN. He seems happy to be away from it. But like all journalists, there's that one piece of information that comes back across your mind and you can't stop thinking about it. And you have to
Yeah.
know the truth.
Yeah.
Have to know the truth. Um, Chip meets with Bradley at the park after telling her he wasn't interested, and remembers a meeting that happened in 2019,
Mm-hmm.
and just says, there was a cover up. Maybe I'm missing something. I want to be a part of this. I want to join you. And as they're waiting for this whistleblower, nothing happens. Nobody
Yeah.
shows. Um, Later on in the episode, Bradley gets a phone call from Chip and puts two and two together. The way they
Mm-hmm.
spell valor, the way they use certain words and sentences.
Mm-hmm.
This is someone who's English. Now that I think about it, Claire was at the meeting. She was just bringing in coffee, but she was there. She's still on the assistant thread because they never update those. They never delete them. It
Mm-hmm.
makes complete sense that she's the one that is a part of this. And of course,
Yeah.
Claire is who Yanko was involved with in season one
Mm-hmm.
and used to be
Yeah.
Bradley's former assistant. And now it even makes more sense as to why she wants Bradley to be the one looking into this. She's the one that brought Bradley to everyone's attention at the network.
Right.
Um, we don't know what's going on with this story fully. We know about the protests, we know about everything else, but we do know that Claire is the one that's trying to really make sure. I'm not sure if this a takeover. Is this a takedown of UBN? Is she saying UBN hid some things? Is this I just want the story out there? What is the main goal and objective outside of getting the truth out? Is UBN involved in this way of any wrongdoing or cover up?
I mean, they might be involved in some of the cover up. Somebody may have had some internal knowledge of whatever was happening and then they killed the story, but the news network.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Um, Not really a ton of stuff going on right now, but I thought it
mhm,
was very. I am happy to see Bradley and Chip working together. I am happy to see them, going down this rabbit hole once again. There are
mhm,
some things that have been noticed. Bradley noticed the shirt that the guy had on when Alex was interviewing or went on IG Live in the street. It matched the
mhm,
photo that she had received from the encrypted text messages.
mhm.
Seems like they're getting closer to this, especially with Chip's findings and thinking it's clear. Claire might be involved with the arrest that took place due to the protest. So we'll find out more and how long that their investigation and research can be a secret because nothing stays a secret when you work with a bunch of journalists. So we'll see how that
Exactly.
goes down. I don't know if you had anything else to say to Bradley before I threw it over to you for Corey.
Nope, that's it.
All right. America's
That's a
favorite, Corey Ellison.
wrap. Corey
That's a
is
wrap on
under
Bradley.
Corey's under federal investigation. What the fuck did Corey do?
I don't know. I know
No.
they don't you don't get investigated federally for sexual misconduct or any kind of misconduct claims, really. Not to that manner, should I say. We don't know about Corey's exit fully from UBN.
Ex- exactly. Corey done did some things. We know that Corey helped Stella with the takeover. But there's no telling what other skeletons are in Corey's closet at this current juncture. So that's definitely something to watch. So we've learned that he's under investigation. Again, we said at the top of the episode, Alex called on him to come to the house. And while the initial uh reason for that
Oh,
meeting is
real
Brad.
quick. I'm sorry. Is he possibly being investigated because the FBI knows about his cover up? Him helping Bradley with the cover up. Remember, the FBI knows about Bradley. Is
Hmm.
that possibly what it is?
It could be, but why wait all of this time? You could have gotten him when you got Bradley.
Yeah, I don't know.
It could be a
I
slow
don't know.
burn. It could be them building a case. I don't know. Um,
My
it
bad.
could.
Go.
I'll keep that.
Yeah,
I'll
something
keep
to think about.
for
Something to think
sure.
about.
For sure. So he meets with Alex. We learn he's under federal investigation, but more than that, he meets with Stella because I think that his reason for wanting to talk to Alex, because maybe he was going to ask her for some funds or some guidance on how to navigate obviously this investigation and then his production, this, that, and the third. But our girl is distracted. So now here I am. Let me go meet with Stella and let me say that I met with Alex. I'm going to ask you for the money, this, that, and the third. Stella has gotten too big for her britches. And so she plays Corey off like he's nothing because, again, he's in his sunset season, as a producer told him last week. Like, your name is mud right now. You're not a good
Mm-hmm.
investment. Even though Corey feels like if anybody else should come off a dollar or two, it can definitely be Stella. Because I know where your secrets are. I know where your skeletons are also buried. And you would not have this role be it not for me.
Not only that, Corey also brings up the business side of it. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not just the I know where the bodies are buried. It's the UBN could use this because people are tired of living this way in 2024. They need a distraction. This film could be it.
Mm-hmm.
This would be great for y'all. So I
Mm-hmm.
love the fact that he balances both of them. Like, hey, you should help me because it's to your benefit because I know some shit,
For
but
sure.
also it's to your benefit because it's gonna make you look good at your job.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So there's that. And so not only does Stella turn Corey down, Corey then meets
She's very brazen about it too.
she is.
And she's very feeling herself. Like, all right, Stella, calm down.
But I felt like that last week too. I didn't like Stella before, but I really don't care for her this season. But you see what money make a bitch do? Uh
She
she,
told him directly, like, you're played out, Corey, and everybody knows it but you.
yeah, she's putting 25 on two. Like she's doing a whole lot. But again, when you are essentially second in command over the network, over the show, when you're sleeping with your boss's husband and you are reaping the benefits, not just of the dick, but also whatever pillow talking Miles and Celine are doing, you are also getting that. And so you have a level of information that nobody else has. And so that is making Stella feel some kind of way. She's definitely smelling herself, and that is what gives her the courage to brazenly talk to Corey like he ain't shit.
Like, he ain't shit.
But we see Corey get the last laugh. So Miles says that he'll talk to Corey because she's gone back and told him that. We talked at the top of the episode about Miles and Corey essentially being the same person. I do wonder if Miles left the lighter out on purpose or it was truly just you in the house and you've been gone. I'm not anticipating you remembering these details about all of these characters, about all of your former employees.
What would be the benefit of Miles leaving that ladder out?
Because he's also playing Stella. Miles he wants to blow this whole thing up.
He's flying way too close to the sun.
He
Blow.
is.
What is when you say blow the whole thing up? What do you mean?
With UBN, it's not just him having an affair. There is something else nefarious about this ordeal.
Okay.
There's more to it than just me sleeping with this other person. It's personal.
Yeah, we don't even know. I don't. We don't even know how long this affair has been going on. Like, we really don't know anything about Miles
You
at
don't know
all and what
anything.
his motivations are. So
He's an
yeah, okay.
artist. Celine's parents are very wealthy. They did not want them together, likely the black of it all. Her get back was not just being with him and moving across the country, but they got married.
Hmm.
You have access to a level of wealth that you never did before. Again, you see what money make a bitch do. The money, power, and respect of it all. There is something I haven't figured it out yet, but give me another episode. I'm gonna figure out Miles' plan to take down UBN, take down Stella, take down Celine, Alex, everybody.
Yeah.
It's more than a notion. It's probably like a Celine's family did some shit to Miles's family, but she don't know that he's the great grandson of somebody like
Sometimes there's some Miles is going to be a big part in some
in
event.
in the downfall for sure, for sure. So my Corey keeps it cool. He peeps, continues his
Takes the lighter.
takes the lighter, keeps his cool, continues the night with Miles, and then makes a phone call to none other than Stella and says, "Hey,
And hold on, Stella answered the phone once again, ready
mhm,
to talk big shit. You know, this is
yeah,
sad. You're trying to scratch and claw your way back. And Corey told her, wait right there before you finish that sentence.
yeah,
Go ahead, Rachel. My bad.
got you, bitch."
Yeah, straight up. Yeah, I know you
That's
fucking. I know you fucking
essentially what he
Miles.
said. Yeah, I know that you're fucking Miles. Not only do I have your lighter, but also the doorman confirmed it, which also lets me know Celine don't be taking her ass over there because
Nah, straight up.
Corey don't have no money. You might got a couple dollars to bribe the doorman, but probably not more than Miles at this point. So the fact that she just told, you definitely don't be up over there. So he makes his demands to Stella and she has to figure it the fuck out. And we don't know whether she will or she won't. But what we do know is that all that power that Stella had is now in Corey's hand, literally.
I want an overall deal at UBN. I want my own office.
Mhm.
Pretty much want everything back. He is risen. I've been told these first two episodes I'm in I know, right? I'm in cancel jail.
Mhm.
I'm out now. I have this information that's gonna give me everything I need. And Stella, I don't give a fuck how you do it.
Yep.
Work that shit out. Make sure I'm back.
And you got to
And I
do
want that bread to finish my movie.
it.
I want all of it,
Mm.
man. And she says like, you want the money? Nah, that's more than money now. I got some big, big, big information. You were fucking the president of the board's husband.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Perfect. Perfect. Absolutely. It is not.
You
And I'm taking even more joy in this because you feeling yourself, you laughing, you telling me sad to see my my demise, my downfall. Makes it looks like I'm begging. Nah, it's cool. Y'all slick. Y'all thought y'all was slick, but you're not.
tried to slick a can of oil.
Straight up. Straight
And
up. The Courier has been the can of oil since episode season one.
exactly, exactly. So I'm excited to see how this unfolds. I was tired of seeing Alex anyway, not Alex. I was tired of seeing Stella anyways with all this power. So it's good to see Corey back. Again, sometimes I root for the wrong people.
Nah, I think you're rooting for the right one. We both wrong then because I fuck with Corey. I want Corey to win all the time.
If loving Corey is wrong, I don't want to be right.
There you go. There you go. That's the same way I feel. Like he's by far the one person I want to see kind of get what he needs to get.
Yeah.
Um, which leads to the one, the main character,
You won.
one and only Alex Levy.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel, let's get into it. We talked about it a little bit earlier.
Mm-hmm.
We know the events that took place last week. We know everybody said, let's keep this under wraps. And
Mm-hmm.
Alex walks into a meeting with the brass where she sees that legal is present.
Yeah.
And I don't know if for all y'all out there, I don't know if you work in corporate America or have worked in corporate America or anything, even if it's where HR is involved. Anytime you see legal, HR in a meeting and they want to talk to you, that should be an immediate, red flag. Like,
For
whoa,
sure.
what the fuck going on here?
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on here? And they start asking questions about was this interview conducted to help Roya defect?
Mm-hmm.
Like, was that the whole purpose? Was it to help them defect the security footage we found? We played the audio. It sounds like you met with them before. And we knew, even if we didn't study that tape, we knew listening, like, damn, I don't remember that conversation going that way when we
Mm-hmm.
watched it last week. Sounds kind of interesting. And Alex, here's the tricky thing. I think we've all been in situations where, damn, did I say that shit? Like sometimes things are so crazy where you start
Yeah.
questioning your own judgment. Like, damn, I didn't, hold on, I didn't say that, did I?
Yeah.
Am I sure? I thought it was another way. So we see all that going on. We see the expression on Alex's face, and not only that, didn't your father have a history with The Rock?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, but that was 20 years ago. I hardly talked to him. Yeah, but didn't you just meet with him after everything that went down? So they got the
Yeah.
drop on it, and
Follow
yeah, y'all following me. Now you were in a college class of students with cell phones.
me. Mm-hmm.
We want you to cancel interviews. We want you to cancel public appearances. Alex, in a frenzy, is really trying to backtrack what was said. She's studying the tape,
For
trying to
sure.
match up the lips with the words, and she can't get anything. She is going crazy. Even asked her old assistant, who's now a producer, does this look like I just met her? Like it would look the same, right? That's what's so fucked up about this. She
Mm-hmm.
can't tell anybody except for one person who has experienced everything, which is going to be Corey.
Yeah.
Um, we get this meeting with Corey, and it's more of a peace offering.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen them have their own issues before, and that's where Corey brings up the whole Celine of it all.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you want to just take a look into that. Well, I told you earlier that makes me think of a suspicion, but he mentioned to her, it sounds like you're being gaslit.
Yeah.
Alice says she's being deep fake. Now, I want to
Exactly.
get your thoughts on. I want to get your thoughts on AI being deep faked, how real it is. I just saw a video today where there's an app to where you can get. I think somebody took a clip of the Joe Rogan show, which is ironic given the Brody character of this all, where it made it sound like it's like a customized, almost like a cameo, but it's not real. You know, and it looks 100% real. The mouth looks the same. If you don't know any better, if you aren't paying close attention, you would think that that's a real thing. And as we know, there's a whole generation that
Mm-hmm.
will fall for things like that.
For
You
sure.
know, there was just a story not too long ago about Keanu Reeves. There's an AI version of Keanu Reeves going around asking people for money, and people were donating to him or giving money to him.
Oh wow, I didn't see.
You, oh yeah. It was like he would DM people on Facebook, and I'm sure you've seen this before. Back when like people were saying they were Michael Jackson, he wasn't really dead. I need some money for this, and people just fall for dumb shit. And that's before it even looked real, and
Mm-hmm.
now it does. What are your thoughts on deep fake? I know we talked about who you thought was behind it, which is Stella, but how scary is that to you to where somebody can really take your image, your likeness, your words, and make it look like you said some shit that you didn't say, especially something so damning as what it said in that video where it looked like it helped her, someone from a different country defect.
Well, the overusage of AI is poisoning Black and Brown communities across this country, uh, namely Memphis. So I'm not a huge fan. However, I understand in this current day and age, with all the technological advances that we've made, a lot of companies in corporate America are utilizing some form of AI. The church that I have been attending, because I have not joined, which is
Mhm.
a story. The the pastor there did an AI seminar essentially, and I was traveling for work, so I couldn't go, but I would actually have liked to go. Where he had someone who works in IT is essentially, or at least tech, come and speak to the dangers and what we need to know and how to utilize this in a safe way. So I you're going to have to know something to be marketable, to navigate this world, this new frontier that we're entering. I think deepfake is fucking weird. Why are you doing this? Well,
I say that about a lot of things every day.
I say that about most things. I also feel that way about these AI pictures. I made a status at one point, like, I want y'all to be delivered from this. This is fucking weird. You don't look like that. To the
Now,
point.
hold on, time out. Can I just put my 2 cents in on that, just really, really quick? It's not even the fact that it's weird enough that they're doing it. It's even more weird that they're accepting compliments for these photos. Like I saw that once when this became a big thing, and people having AI photos, and then people saying, "Oh my goodness, you look good," and they're saying thank you. Like this is AI. Like why are you saying thank you for that?
Why is this your profile picture?
Why is that your profile picture? Why are you making these AI photos with these celebrities that look like a Polaroid?
It's
Like
very
it's all
weird.
weird. It's strange. Like if I ever
It's
started doing that, y'all, like please,
yeah,
you get
it's
it.
you mentally. Oh
It's weird. Either way, I'm sorry.
my
Keep
God.
going.
Yeah, so it's not for me, but I do understand that it is something that is very real in the world right now in society. So you just have to be mindful. I don't know if there's a way to prevent yourself from being deep faked. I don't know. Sing like or speak like Little Richard sang back in the day when he was being covered by Pat Boone and them. I don't know. Make yourself so, I don't want to say individualized, but so unique that it's hard to copy, it's hard to match. I don't know, but I'm not a fan. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's not worth the damage that it would be causing. And so when you think about technology and health and this, that, and the third, the risk can't be greater than the reward. And I think this is an instance where that is the case. And it's going to cause a lot of trouble.
Yeah, and it's also odd when you're at the beginning of it because you don't know. There's no evidence to say what it's going to turn out to be. So
Right.
we're really finding out in real time. So that's kind of wild. We know that Alex has been silenced by TMS,
Hmm.
UBN, the powers that be. We talked about it earlier with Mia, where she wanted to go on the morning show, and she said, "Nah, that's being shut down."
Yeah.
The one
Mia,
thing that I think everybody said that again.
I said Mia has to do her job.
Yeah, Mia
However,
has to do her job. I think the one thing we can all agree on and admire about Alex is she's very resourceful.
for sure.
She's gonna find a way. She's gonna find a way,
Yeah.
and it hits her. Who can I go to that doesn't have any kind of editorial
Integrity.
oversight?
Hmm.
Yeah, integrity, oversight, and I can kind of get out here and speak my mind with a large platform. Well, Brody does,
Yeah.
and she wants to be a guest. And to his benefit and credit, this is a little weird. Like you've been dogging me this whole time. You said absolutely not when I extended the offer earlier. Now you pulled on 180. Like what's going on? What's got you rattled? We know Alex can't talk about it, but he sees right away something's going on.
Yeah.
So you didn't just randomly wake up today wanting to come on my show to talk about deepfakes. And
Hmm.
also told her don't search Alex Levy deepfakes because you're gonna find some shit on there unless you
For
into
sure.
foot fetishes and whatever else he talked about.
For,
Yeah. So she decides to go and talk back with the deep fakes, and she doesn't get a chance to make it because as she's getting into her office one day, and we didn't mention the whole, I think Leslie, um, what was her name? Leslie Reynolds. Corey mentions, hey, it sounds like they're trying to fire you.
hmm.
Leslie Reynolds is probably the only person, if you kiss the ring, she might be able to save you.
Yeah.
Um, heavy vote on the board.
Hmm.
That's who you want to kind of see. So we know she's been trying to track her down and have a chance run in, air quote on chance run in to have a conversation with her. I'm really liking Alex's assistant because she just said it. You want to try her
I'm
again?
thirsty.
That's a little thirsty. Um, we also see that Alex's belongings, her computer, records are being confiscated
Mhm.
due to an investigation. I'm not sure if that's the FBI or who it is. I'd imagine so. She wants her lawyer on the phone and then realizes at that same time a student of her father's, at her father's school, should I say, is there to
Mhm.
do an interview and knows exactly what buttons to push, similar to her dad.
For
She said,
sure.
your dad said you probably would flake. All right, you get 5 blocks because I'm trying to
Mhm.
meet Leslie. We see them go outside. You see Alex discussing her father, getting a little bit more into that relationship,
Yeah.
but also we see her with an opportunity to report in real time.
Mhm.
Streets are backed up because of a protest. She noticed after she sees a sign, we're being gaslit. And
Mhm.
something goes off in her head, and she goes on IG Live, which I've done it once, I think, on an IG Live, but goes on IG Live to report, gets paint thrown on her, but has
Oh,
a moment where she's kind of, say what?
was it Panther? It was oil.
Oil, paint, whatever it was. I'm
Mhm.
not sure. I didn't think they would want to throw real oil on her, but maybe I could. I've known them to throw paint. I'm just thinking about protests where they go to these art exhibits, they throw
Yeah.
paint at the
Mhm.
the portraits and things like that. We see Alice in the street and she's doing interviews and she's really getting back to it. What are your thoughts, Rachel, on her trying to take control of her own narrative and get back in the spotlight and not be silenced? And that's a beautiful thing about. It makes me laugh because we just talked about the Kimmel of it all when it came
Mhm.
to reasonable doubt. But I was going to say the freedom of speech to where you're not just limited to. There was a time when Alex could only talk on TMS or talk on a traditional media platform. Now I can go on IG Live and I'm a big enough star to where I am my own news channel and I can report things how I need
Well, as someone who also has a degree in journalism,
to. stunt, stunt, stunt
uh,
on them.
communications, whatever, same thing.
Same thing.
Supposed to be on the news. That's a whole nother story. Shout
I
out
could
to
definitely
Rocky
see you on the
TV.
news. Did we talk about this? Did we talk about evening news or morning news? Did we have that conversation?
No, evening,
Yeah.
morning.
I can see you. I can see you do both.
Yeah, just put me on TV, coach. Blah 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 blah. This is the beauty of having someone who actually understands the job. You talked about Jimmy Kimmel, but if you look at the media space currently in the real world, a lot of hosts, TV, podcasts, this and the third, do not have a journalism background. And so and let alone investigative. You know what I'm saying? So they don't necessarily know how to ask the questions, what probing actually looks like. And Alex is from a time where you literally had to get it out the mud. And so, yes, she's had a cushy job on the morning show for all of these years, but we see who and how her father is. For what everything that we can say about Alex, she's not afraid to work. Uh she will defend herself ferociously. And here we are. And to your point, I do have free speech. This is not the days I can't get behind the desk, but I have a phone. I have millions of followers because I'm Alex Levy. Of course, I'm
Hmm.
going to utilize this opportunity. But before I even get there, here is this student with my father, of my father's. I've already got a side eye because you've already called me into the office about me even going to see my father. And now I got one of his students in here who I said that I would mentor or give a few minutes to or give a couple quotes to. And now she's in my way where I literally have way more pressing issues. So she pushes her buttons. Like you said, her father said, your father said you a flake. Okay. You got 5 blocks. We get in the truck. I'm asking you these questions because Alex has so much going on. She allows herself a rare slip of telling too much, of getting a little too personal. So she asks, will your father be a good dean of the law school? She said he's only wanted it. He's chased it for the last 30 years. He's the Joe Biden of
Yeah.
academia, which is a
Yeah.
hell of a quote. And when you
Right.
people who've been in a particular industry or um, career path for so long, there is always an ultimate goal that you work towards. And for whatever reason, you haven't gotten it. And when you do, you're going to seize the day on that carpe diem. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shout out to Dead Poet
Mm-hmm.
Society. You're good.
There you go.
You're going to do it. And this is what Mr. Levy is doing. I'm going to do it. And we see Alex, who also embodies that. She is seizing her own day. When we realize we're not going any fucking where on these blocked off ass streets, okay, I'm getting out. I have my phone, which is a weapon and a tool to not just get this story out. You have to consider how this will also benefit me. Here I am with literal breaking news, and you have the name. She gets the paint thrown on her, but the guy that she ends up interviewing, he says, "Hey, that's Alex Levy. So we need a mouthpiece. Allow while you're getting your story, let me get our story out." And I know that the power of you going live and your phone, that gets us on the news. That gets our message beyond us just yelling in the streets of Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
Powerful, powerful thing. And we see that this worked. Alex misses Brody's podcast, but
Mm-hmm.
he has the video. It's able to go up. He can say, yes, she's not here because of this, that, and the third, but this is what she was doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, Alex, by taking measures into her own hands and leaning on the skills that she acquired while studying to be an actual journalist, she was able to advocate for herself and essentially change her station. I don't say in life,
And
but at the station,
break a huge story.
and break a
One to the point of we see Celine come to her apartment at the end
mhm.
of the episode and um,
Pause.
pretty
And
much say,
unbeknownst to her, give Bradley a
right,
uh an egg, Easter egg. Go ahead.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
But Celine talks about Alex's apartment and confirms there was a breach found by the security team.
Yeah.
You know, which made me think, as I mentioned earlier, made me question Celine
Hmm.
because do you have to save face since Alex is now on? You know, she's popping.
Hmm.
But as you explained it, it probably is telling. I think Celine is just doing what's best. I think Celine is too powerful to have to remove Alex for a reason like that.
For
To
that,
have
and
to kind of
here's the
deep
thing:
fake her, yeah.
it is Celine's money, her family money, that saved the network.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't do her any good for this third party, the third piece of pie in their little circle, to go down for this. Again, if this fails, I lose. Not at all, but a good chunk of it, which
Yeah.
may which may be Miles's reason. Maybe as he married into, maybe he resents their wealth and power. I can use it, but I also hate it and I want to burn it down from the inside.
A lot more questions than answers, that's for sure. But that's how it should be.
Correct.
2 episodes in, it's a slow burn. Not even that slow, but we just have new faces, new things,
Mhm.
new ideas to explore.
Yeah,
And for right now, Alex is safe, but
for now.
Bradley's found out more information. Corey's back's on the rise.
Mhm.
Stella's stock is falling.
Mhm.
It's a lot of stuff going on.
It's a
Um,
lot going on. I'm excited. I'm excited for next week. Well, this week. Um, yeah. Shout out to the morning show.
yeah, yeah. I think that's it. Is there anything else you need to cover or want to cover?
Nope.
We got everything. All right.
Fight
Well,
the power. Use your mind. The
we
mind is a
appreciate
terrible
y'all
thing
for
to waste.
brain is a terrible thing to waste, y'all. We appreciate you for tuning in. To Captain, my Captain, Rachel. I appreciate you as always, just for being the best at what you do, for being the Alex Levy mixed with Chip, mixed with Bradley Jackson, mixed with Mia Jordan, mixed with Chris. You got everything. Chris Hunter, just kind of mixed with everybody, the best of the best. Rachel, I got the best co-anchor that you could ask for. Appreciate you as always. Appreciate all y'all for listening, tuning in. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment. If you know anybody watching the morning show, please slide it to them.
For sure.
Don't forget, we're also covering Reasonable Doubt
Yeah.
on Hulu. We'll have a new episode of that for y'all here soon. And that'll be it. We got y'all.
We got y'all. Peace. Follow us. We love y'all. Be safe.
We out.
Journalistic integrity matters. Use your brain. Bye.
No deep fakes.
He's in
Peace.
living color. Bye.